On the play, intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Intentional grounding, number 1. Intentional grounding, offense, number 15.
Welcome to episode 5. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it episode 5?
4. Episode 4?
No, it is 5.
Yeah. We're 5-ing.
This is episode 5.
I feel like we do this every episode, but are we live? Are we going?
Yeah, I think
We're live.
I feel like that was fun. That was
kick
good.
us off.
That was the
Episode
intro.
5.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5. We got a lot to talk about this week. Really big week in the world of college football. A small upset in the state of Indiana. That was pretty crazy. We'll get to that. We have some SEC dominance. Binky's not going to talk about Tennessee beating my Wolfpack by 41 at all. We're going to dig into the ACC, which is stinky this year.
Very stinky.
Very stinky.
ACC, more like ASS, right? Get it?
All right, can you go on?
That was probably
Please.
workshop for a bit. Yeah, that
ass.
was
Bleep that out.
got it. We've got a Colorado Hate Corner sponsored by Michelob Ultra. Not
a
official-
sponsor.
not-
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, just
not
a
a
fan.
sponsor
not
there.
a
Jackson,
sponsor.
that's not a
Wow.
sponsor, dude.
Not a sponsor.
Who put that in the...
Who dropped that in the
Just
doc?
a
Why
fan.
am I reading that? We got some big games. We've got a guy. We've got an absolute dude in Boise State that we need to talk about, and then we're going to get to some picks for the week.
Let's do
It's
it.
a good one.
Come on.
We also have an interview with a special someone today, correct?
We do.
Yeah. That will
Shout out
be
JJ.
that will be on the pod
Yes.
later in the episode.
Yes.
And-
Feels like stolen valor, but this is one of Alex Gillen's good friends. Alex is no longer with us.
We're thinking of him
for the
and his
next
family.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
He'll be back here in just a second. But JJ is a Locked On Blue Devils on 3 reporter and also a play-by-play caller for the SEC Network. So Alex and I were able to hop on with him a couple days ago, just talk the sports broadcasting industry, all things college football, and a little bit more about his life. So stay tuned for that. It was a great interview. Guy's got a great voice.
Yeah,
I could see him doing
does.
the Chris Collinsworth slide in on Sunday Night Football.
He
sometime
does.
soon.
He really does.
Great guy too. Wow. But
Wow.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Is Notre Dame okay?
Oh, we're starting off.
Is Notre
hot.
Dame okay?
I wouldn't be okay.
Do
I don't
they
think
stink?
We went from winning in one of the hardest environments in college football to losing to the Northern Illinois Huskies.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh,
Wow.
that was
There
quick.
he is. Get,
All
in,
right.
get in here.
Alex is here.
We didn't even mention.
Unfortunately-
Did we even mention the fact? Sorry, I'm sorry to like push away Notre Dame here, but did we even mention the fact that Juice is here with us?
I'm live.
Juice is here
Juice
with
is
us
doing it live
today.
with
here.
us.
Juice is in the studio recording with us live, so you don't have to see his face on a recorded video or an audio tape.
Yes.
You
We
can
did
see him
not want
here.
to break the camera.
Doing it live.
Can they hear me?
Probably not.
I mean,
They probably can.
faintly.
Yeah, I can translate if you'd like.
They probably can. Juice, you can also sit in this chair over here.
Yeah, come on. We want you in the camera.
Okay,
This
yeah,
does
he's got
feel
his
like
picks
this
on.
does
He's got
feel like
his
a
picks
real
on.
life kind of college game day because you know they have Bear over in the corner over there. Like,
We
It's
need
not
another
Barry
venue.
bring
anymore.
out the gambler.
We need the
It's not
second
Barry
camera
anymore.
over
Stanford
here to
Steve.
like
Stanford
point.
Steve. Stanford Steve.
Sorry I was late. I have a kid. She did not want to go to sleep, and so we had to bargain with her.
It's okay. Sometimes I don't want to have to go to sleep and Rachel bargains with me. So-
No, it's very fair. Which
you
did
give
we
her
do
money?
our shout outs? That reminds me, we were shout out to they're cheaper than kids. So if you want one, go and buy them now.
Not a sponsor, just a fan.
just a big
not
fan.
Me. Not me.
Yeah.
I'm not married.
We are fans. I'm becoming a fan. On that note, but
Becoming a fan of what?
So I just posed the question: is Notre Dame okay? Is
Are we
Alex
okay?
Gillen okay?
I'm going off 4 hours of sleep. I went to the gym today and then watched Margaret all day, and I'm feeling good. Had a great football weekend.
Oh my gosh, today was your last day of...
Last day of paternity leave, start my job tomorrow.
Man.
Wow.
Excited.
Clap it up for the dad.
Let's go.
Cooked some dinner for the wife and kid, and then Here we are. What did I?
Here to talk some ball. We just got
Yeah.
into the upset.
We just started.
We're going.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, we're literally
We just
started
started.
Amazing.
3 minutes ago. We already plugged JJ interview.
Love it. Love it. I have it right here.
Yeah, we'll get that.
We're
get
gonna-
that.
We'll just play it live.
We're just gonna play a live.
Yeah.
We'll figure
Put it
that
right
out.
up
I can't wait
at
to show
some
you all
point
this.
here. But let's jump into this Notre Dame NIU game. Jackson and I were both in Charlotte for the Tennessee NC State game, so we didn't get to catch much of it. But by God, did we hear all about it? Tailgating and do what we do on game days. What an upset! Largest upset in Northern Illinois history.
Ever.
Shout out, who was the former quarterback that played at NIU that was a starter in the NFL for a little bit?
Jake Delem.
No, incorrect.
You know what I'm thinking of.
He played under Dave Doran.
Really? I want to
Oh.
say, my first thought was,
Is it Jordan something?
so,
Yates.
can we get, Dalton, can you look that up for us, please? Yeah. Or Juice, excuse me. Juice.
Michaela.
NIU quarterback, NFL. Maybe that will give us a good prompt.
Jordan Lynch.
Wait, guys.
That was it? That was him?
Is
From World War One.
So Jordan Lynch in 2013 amassed 4,953 yards and 44 touchdowns, which is pretty good.
Jordan Lynch.
Good job,
I could've
Jordan.
sworn- Wow. Anyways, yeah. I mean, that tells you just about as much as you need to know about the Northern Illinois football program.
they are
Comes in.
They're a group of 5 bid right now.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, they probably should.
They
be.
are ranked.
Yeah. They're ranked. They're 25th.
I mean, they should be. 2-0, huge win. They walk into Notre Dame and take care of business.
They completely outplayed Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They looked like a more complete team than Notre Dame.
Riley Leonard was 20 of 32 for 163 yards and 2 picks, which is not great.
Any touchdowns?
0 is what I'm saying. He did have one on the ground.
I think Riley, I'm starting to think he was 50% Mike Elko and 50% just tall and fast.
And schedule.
Yep, and they played in Duke.
They played in the ASS.
Yes.
as Binky described earlier. But
2 interceptions rough, so Panthers should draft him next year.
yeah, that'd be great. I don't
Worst quarterback ever.
if Notre Dame wins out, can they make the college football playoff?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people are asking.
I mean,
I
I'm
think-
kind of.
If they win out and there's still some spaces left, then definitely.
What's their schedule looking like? Like,
know
what
they've
are
got
their
a
notable
game-
opponents?
I know they've got a game at USC to finish the year. They've got Louisville at home, which looks like a decent game. They've got Florida State, which no longer looks like a decent game.
Hey, you don't know. We don't know.
They go to Georgia Tech. They don't have that many quality win opportunities on the schedule. They might be done.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
could
know.
be done.
That's tough.
I mean, they drop one more, they're toast.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah, you
it's
definitely
they have
can't
to
win
win every
otherwise.
game. They gotta win out.
I think
can't-
they have to win, and they have to
Because
win.
you can't take a bad loss, and you have to get a big win to counteract the fact that you lost to the Northern Illinois Huskies at home.
I mean, so many
NIU,
questions around
Which
that
I
program
can't
now.
really talk about that because State might
Their
lose to the
coach-
Northern Illinois Huskies in 2 weeks at home.
Oh, y'all
'Cause
play
we
them?
play them, yeah.
No, you won't. You'll bounce back.
Jackson,
No,
you see their
certainly not.
coach?
Did I see their coach?
The speech after?
Dude, he is
Yeah.
inspirational.
Crazy.
Yeah, that-
He has braces too.
Yeah, so Iowa also lost.
Yes, they did.
Dude, my Iowa State Cyclones had that the entire way.
Honestly, that was really depressing for one of Juice's picks. That we'll
Did I
get
have
into.
any wins at all?
Yeah, you had one.
Oh, you had Colorado? Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
You did have NC State. Oh, no.
Oh, you had Michigan? Oh, no. Iowa? No.
Dude, Michigan looked really good the first
you picked the
drive.
game that we all picked. Yeah,
Texas
that's
State.
what it is. Yeah, you
Which
picked
is
Texas
crazy
State.
because I know Texas State. Y'all bitches don't even know.
The sheep mentality over there. Iowa State came down to what was it, a game-winning field goal? Did I see that
you
correctly?
could call it that.
Yeah, I
call
mean, this
that.
was a game full of special teams, kind of as we expected, with the score of
Iowa was up. Iowa was
Yeah.
up pretty big.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
Iowa
were they up 19-0?
Maybe it was like 19-3,
Yeah, they were up. So they were up. Oh no, they weren't. They were up 19-7.
19-7.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Jackson
they,
went 5-0. That's crazy.
I know ball. My team
The guy
might get
gets
crushed in Charlotte, but I know ball.
Yeah.
guy gets it. Iowa State rivalry game, big upset for the Cyclones. Shawty had me moving like a
Moving like a
cyclone.
like a cyclone.
I've been moving my body all night long.
We got an SEC upset too.
Huge.
Binky.
Kentucky
Oh, they lost.
drops the
Yeah.
ball
Big time.
Beamer, baby.
to space goggles and beamer ball in the Norris Cellars.
Not the space goggles.
South Carolina's defense looked wildly impressive in that game. Brock Vandergriff, transfer from Georgia, looked very scared, had no confidence at all in that game against South Carolina. I said last week that South Carolina sucks. They might not, but
They might be
it's
good.
only week 2. That's the beautiful thing about this sport.
You
is
heard
it
of
is
Jadavian
only
Clowney?
Week 2.
Do I remember Jadeveon Clowney? Was that the question?
Yeah, Jackson.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, look him up.
Was
Juice, look him up.
Was he good?
Why are
Yeah,
you saying
big
that?
hit.
Just because he plays for the Panthers?
Yeah. Yeah, South Carolina.
Ball never lies.
Doesn't lie.
That was Denard Robinson.
What else? We had looks like, did y'all talk about NC State and UT
No,
yet?
it's
Yeah.
look at the doc.
The SEC dominance continues. We'll go ahead and go into what Gilly just spoiled. NC State and Tennessee game this week in Charlotte, North Carolina was kind of a snooze fest, and we've got 2 big-time fans from both teams here. We're just going to let them speak and hash out all their issues for the rest of the episode.
Thanks, Pat. I thought it was
Nope,
interesting.
not you.
Alex thought it was interesting.
From the Tennessee side.
Yes, it was very interesting. It was very fun. See, the thing is, I can't talk too much
No, you can
because
talk.
I really respect and I really like Jackson. But I will say,
I'm but one member of the fan base.
I
Binky,
expected
you
a little bit more out of NC State. Granted, this was their Super Bowl this year.
Oh my God.
At least their fans thought so. That's for sure. I think this game just really kind of shows the separation.
We need a juice can.
From a
From
a recruiting perspective, from a coaching tactics, but electric atmosphere. That's the one mild level thing I will say about this game. Electric atmosphere.
That's not even a compliment. It was in Bank of America Stadium.
But Bank of
It
America
was-
Stadium
it was
did a great
awesome.
job.
It was more full than the next day. So
That is also
Yeah.
true.
I saw the game and I was like, wow, I haven't seen the stands
it's
packed out
also
in years.
true because the Panthers played an away game.
Yep, that's true.
So-
That's also fair.
That is
That's a good
The
good
margin
lip.
there probably go
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Binky. Was there anything else you wanted to add, or can I cook my own team for a second?
I'm going to let you do it. Honestly.
Okay, yeah.
Because I have a lot of really great things to say about us.
Yeah.
But I'll let you go ahead and let her rip.
It's
So,
a Tennessee and NC State
first-
podcast now.
First thing, I'll be quick. Yeah, you were talking about the gap between the caliber of player, like Tennessee's NIL resources, like outnumber states 10-1. So you definitely saw that. We spent the most money we've ever spent on NIL, and rather than play our former 5-star wide receiver a ton of snaps, or our NFL-bound tight end who can do anything on the field that you ask him to, we trotted out a converted walk-on swimmer who is playing tight end, who was playing guard, and ran at Tennessee's NFL defensive line all game. Like,
Are you referring to Waters?
No-
Who are you referring to?
so there, a gentleman by the name of Matt McCabe, who's a really good dude, at tight end, played more snaps than our 5-star wide receiver from Ohio State that came in transfer portal, Noah Rogers. And rather than attack,
Element of surprise, man.
That is
like,
crazy.
like they'll never see it coming if we literally run it right at them for 1.4 yards a carry. Like, I don't understand. It's really maddening when people that aren't playing the sport have such an outsized impact on the game, and we literally shot ourselves in the foot from the start with our game plan, and that's really disappointing. Like, you wanna lose playing your best, playing the smartest, and we did not do that. Like, that pick six broke the game. I think the team realized it and quit after that, so that was really tough to see. But hey, at least the atmosphere was great. That was,
The light show was cool.
that was cool.
I
Are you
thoroughly
are you in or out on Grayson McCall yet?
I'm definitely trending out.
Okay.
I
Welcome.
It's game 2.
yeah, great to be here. I still have. He's still not the guy that we saw on on Saturday. I didn't see him Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the guy we saw on Saturday, but the 70% completion guy who is 3-time player of the year in the Sun Belt. Like, I'm still waiting for that guy to show up. So maybe he shows up because he got a lot of new pieces around him and a different offense with different people.
Yeah.
But yeah, big sad.
Big sad.
Big sad.
I do have good news for NC State fans, though. For real.
Is this backhanded or is this actual good news?
I can't really. It is
always backhanded.
objectively, it's true.
Okay.
But it's backhanded.
Y'all don't play another, like, the rest of your schedule. I mean, y'all can coast. Y'all can coast through.
Yeah.
You play Clemson next week.
We go to Clemson that just... do we want to kick it to
Yeah.
Mr.
I wasn't going to talk about it, but
Okay,
Speaking of which, do you have my $75 cash?
dude, I actually did forget it.
Okay, cool.
But
Well, we're going to keep you posted week by week on
not
whether
gonna
or
pay
not
you.
Alex
There's
is a
no
man
way.
of his word.
I am. I'm 100% going to pay you.
There's no way.
I just forgot the cash.
My takeaways from UT NC State game. I'm very proud, and it was awesome to see our defense flying around like that. We haven't allowed an offensive touchdown in 12 quarters of collegiate football. Really good to see. Still think we have the best defensive line in the SEC. Have we been battle? I think we faced a little bit of adversity in that first half. I even think UT players were expecting a little bit more of a battle. This sounds backhanded, but I try not to make it be. I think they were expecting a little bit more of a fight, so that does kind of worry me heading into Norman in 2 weeks, not really being battle tested, but we'll see. We'll take that big win. Primetime game, good for the Vols, and overall great atmosphere. And we'll move on.
You know what else is a great atmosphere on Saturday for like 5 minutes? The Big House.
Ooh,
Before Quinn Ewers waved his finger and said, "You know what? I think we're probably good here."
Yeah.
Not good.
Hey, Texas is great.
They look
Very
They
good.
look
pretty
very
good.
good.
That was
Because I don't think Michigan's bad still.
No.
I think they were like, their defense is strong.
Yeah, they'll finish in the top 25, no doubt. Michigan will, but I mean,
Texas is on another
Texas,
level.
Yeah, Coach Sark had those boys.
Dare I say on the
Dialed.
level of Georgia right now.
I think they're.
I don't know.
It's only my
Maybe.
third day out here. Yeah, I mean, for Texas to walk into Ann Arbor, which is a very hostile environment in college football, and just lay their sack on the table
Yeah.
and say, "Come and get it," was rough. Rough look. What was the final score? 31?
It was 31-12, and Texas had a touchdown, I think, called back on the first drive, and because of penalties, that first drive did not end in points. So that's, like, hypothetically, like 38-12. Like,
Yeah.
it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Michigan's got to find a quarterback.
Yeah,
man.
that's
Like,
the only
you
issue.
gotta- That's a pretty important position
That
in
is-
the sport. You got to...
Will Warren, am I saying, is it Will? I still need to figure out this guy's name. Michigan's quarterback,
Davis.
or quarterbacks, should I say, Davis Warren and Alex Orji, not up to par. That is, I think that's for sure. I think that's going to be their biggest issue all year.
Wait, Alex who?
Orji in the end
Orji,
zone.
got it.
Orji in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm not sending this to my family.
My mom also listens to this. I'm sorry.
We had less viewers last week because we talked about that all week.
Yeah, that's true. Too many sex jokes, Binky. Clean it up.
Shout out to USC Trojans, who had a great game this weekend as well.
They did. They played well.
Wrapping out the SEC's dominance kind of this weekend. Georgia, Ole Miss, Mizzou, all still dominant. Ole Miss's offense is on fire. Georgia's dominant as ever. Mizzou still kicking tail. So
Mizzou's, they're unscored on still, right?
Wait, really?
I saw that stat. But they haven't played
This
anybody.
year?
Yeah, like they're 2-0 unscored on.
wow, yeah,
That's
good
right.
for
And
them.
they play Boston College this weekend, so that might continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Because the ACC stinks.
I don't know, dude. Bill O'Brien. You never know.
This guy is so good at like transitioning into
It
things.
gets sweaty.
That's what I'm here
Naturally,
for,
it's
man.
authentic.
The ACC does stink, except for Clemson. I'm on the Clemson train
Louisville,
now.
Louisville,
And
guys.
Louisville looks good.
Louisville looks good.
Miami's definitely
Miami,
good.
Miami looks
Yeah,
good.
there's
Yeah,
some
we got-
top heaviness.
But like
We got
but
Miami
Syracuse?
as one good team in the ACC.
good
Syracuse?
is subjective though.
Yeah.
Like Miami
Compared to the rest of the Power Four, ACC is
do you think any other team
Doggy
could get
doo.
into a playoff looking at it now besides Miami? Off what you've seen?
Miami would have to. This is the only thing. The only way that I see this happening is like Miami loses the ACC championship game, and they're 12-1. Like
Who'd
so
they
that's
lose
the only
to?
loss. Let's say Clemson.
Yeah.
And Clemson gets an automatic berth.
Not
and
Georgia Tech.
Miami, that's not probably not.
Got it. Just
I think
make sure.
they're now 1-1 in
They are, yes. They have to
Yeah.
win out. But.
That's like the only way that I could see that playing out. But
Yeah.
but like if you were to match up Miami, and I'll just use Tennessee to inflate Binky's ego even more.
This is great. Kind of love it.
Like Tennessee would be favored by a touchdown, I think, if I had to guess. Like
On
maybe the talent
Miami?
gap isn't that big. Do what?
Against Miami?
Yeah,
Got it.
I think Tennessee would be favored by like 4-7.
Yep. I believe that. That Tennessee looks good.
Yeah,
They look pretty good.
They do.
But ACC does stink. Boston College is okay. Clemson, I actually do. I'm not saying it because they blew us out. They looked really good when they blew us out. They Cade Klubnik 7 touchdowns.
Yeah,
in a
I
half.
hate Cade Klubnik, and
Yeah.
I might have to change that because
Him and Dabo together is a weird energy as well. I don't
Yeah,
like
I
the
don't-
smiles and the televangelist energy that I'm
yeah.
getting. From both, I feel like I'm about to buy a bunch of watches when they start talking. They're about
Well,
to
the
get me
truth
in
of the
some kind
matter
of
is,
scheme.
Klubnik was made in the name, image, and
likeness,
of
yep.
God.
No, yeah, 100%. You're allowed to pray for him. I'm just saying, don't buy what he's selling. But as far as
Fair.
the touchdowns,
I wish we had a juice cam.
the touchdowns and things like that, Clemson did look good. I didn't like that Dabo was challenging fourth downs and kicking it when they were up by 40 in the fourth quarter. That wasn't fun to watch, but I get it. Got to run the score up, get those points. But as far as other ACC, I don't really. I mean, I watched Pitt almost lose to Cincinnati. That was pretty rough. Wake Forest lost to
Cincinnati was
Virginia.
favored though.
Cincinnati was favored, but they were up. Cincinnati was up by 20 or something, and then Pitt came
that was a
back,
big L.
and they
Yeah, that was
won
tough.
by a kickoff or at the end of the game.
So that's a good thing for Pitt.
That is good. No, that's great.
Yeah,
that's
thumbs
great.
up for the ACC.
Yeah. So besides that, big games I saw. One that I put a lot of money on too late after watching App get stomped, and I was like, whatever, clear the FanDuel account out on Boise State. They looked really good. They controlled the whole game, and then Oregon just survived again against. Is Oregon not good? That's my question.
we
after
might
2
I don't
weeks.
think they're a top 5 team.
We might
I don't.
have-
They're almost losing to Idaho, and Boise State is good, but they're still not
I think
ranked.
I think we'll have a question. I think we'll come back to that in a couple weeks because after they play Ohio State, we'll see how that really goes. Because I think it's going to take them some time, and I mean obviously we've seen that, but it is taking them time to get in the rhythm.
I think the problem with Oregon and figuring them out though is that so they play Ohio State in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Their opponents outside of Ohio State are Oregon State, UCLA, Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois, Maryland.
Yep.
They go to Michigan, Wisconsin, and Washington. They don't
Okay.
play anybody else. If they
They go to Michigan.
go to Michigan, but that doesn't.
Dang,
look
they have
nearly as
Ohio
scary.
State and Michigan.
After what Texas did,
They're in the Big
yeah, I
Ten.
mean,
Yeah,
Those are conference games, Pat.
I know, but it's just crazy.
I don't know. Maryland, Oregon is so lit. That is
Coast to coast.
God.
bro, I'm just waiting on that UCLA Rutgers game. It's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
feed families.
Do Rutgers, their thing at the bottom says where football is invented? Do you see that?
I mean,
You
you
are they
can't
the
argue with the
first?
facts.
Are they the first school to have football?
It was hard. It was Yale. It was 2 Ivy League schools. And
Like Yale,
Rutgers.
Penn, and Rutgers. That
I think
sucks
it's like
that they're so
a
awful.
North Carolina, Ohio, first in flight kind of deal where do
Oh,
you
yeah.
claim the site where it happened or do you claim the people that did it? I think Rutgers might be the site,
Yeah,
Piscataway.
dude,
And
I
they're
never knew that Ohio did anything until
Yeah,
someone told me
they're
that,
trying
and I said,
The
"Shut up,
Bobcats?
you don't
I'm
know."
gonna get cat ears.
No,
on
just
this thing.
Ohio, the
Of the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Minnesota.
Minnesota. We need to check in on how Joe Biden's team did this weekend.
Is he
shout
still
out to all the
alive?
political candidates for sponsoring this podcast with money laundering from their campaigns.
Yes.
What else we got? We got Heisman frontrunner Ashton Jaunty.
He He's putting up numbies. Listen,
He is putting up
9
numbers.
rushing touchdowns so far.
460 rushing yards in 2 games. 22
That's gonna
forced
be
missed
NC State's entire rushing output for the year, and he's done it in 2 games.
Yeah.
He's really fun to watch. I really hope that the Panthers almost draft him and then he goes to the Bears. It's going to be great next year. He's really good. He puts in a lot of extra yard efforts. I'd like to see. Like
working
you think,
really hard.
Like he has 2 people on him, and
He's
you're like,
like-
oh, he's down. Then he gets like 5 or like
He's
6 more yards.
He's like Pacheco.
Yes. Yes.
He just runs so hard.
Whenever
Yeah.
I hear Pacheco, all I can think of is when his rookie debut last year, somebody tweeted a highlight of him running in the Chiefs game. They said Pacheco runs like it looks like he bites people. I cannot get that out of my head. Ashton Janty.
We're just gonna say his name differently every time. I
Yeah,
think.
Boise State fans, tap in, let us know the correct pronunciation. You know,
Yeah.
we do have an email at intentionalgrounding.
We do.
gmail.com.
Yep. intentionalgroundingpod@gmail.com.
Did we ever get any more tips on your
Let me check the email now. I got pulled up.
No.
Yeah.
But I don't want to drag this too
I'm sorry.
out, but we found the guy.
No way.
No,
Swear
you
on my
found the
life.
guy?
The police
What?
found the guy,
On the
and I'm not going
Silver
to say his
Dodge
name
Ram?
because I looked him up, and he looks a very scary human being. So
Okay.
I'm not going to expose myself.
Yeah. Are you going into witness protection?
I might have to after this because my address is currently still on the police report.
Oh my God. That is scary.
But yeah, we found the guy.
Dude, that's huge.
Yeah, that's big.
Big for the brand. Shout out Progressive, not a sponsor, just
we
a fan.
found him because of a tip from an email.
Yes,
from a
it
listener.
was- it was
nice,
one of
nice.
Our only emails are that email, and then our Dropbox subscription is about to like end. So that's really big,
gotta
big
figure
for
that out.
us.
Pat, talk to us. There were 2 big games that kind of came down to final minutes. I know we just touched on Boise, Oregon.
Hold on. So what's gonna happen?
yeah. Give us the
You want my car?
We do
Yes.
need closure.
Yeah.
There, he's gonna have to pay for it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Silver Dodge Ram, baby.
We're gonna
Red
make a
Hood.
good for it.
Big Justice
Just-
gives that a
A big boom. Sponsored by Costco.
Justice or just us, as they say.
But
Binky.
yeah, Boise, to wrap this one out, Boise State, Ashton Janty looked great. They did not end up winning the game. I think Oregon won on a game-winning field goal, I believe, or a game-winning touchdown
I
drive.
think they won by 6.
Trouble in Eugene, potentially. And then, Pat, tell us a little bit more, please, about this Oklahoma State-Arkansas game.
Yeah, this game gave me a major headache.
I'm so glad they won.
Yeah, that was sad.
And I will say Oklahoma State should have lost this game.
Yeah,
Arkansas put up like 650 total yards
they did well.
to our 300, I think. Arkansas's downfall, their turnovers. They could
They
not
turned it
stop
up.
turning the ball
Yeah,
over.
dude.
They had so many mistakes.
They look so
They had
much bigger.
There was a fumble, there was an interception, and then a muffed punt.
yeah,
And we recovered all of that, and that's kind of what kept us in the game.
Yeah.
They kept us in the game. However, the last minute of the game was some of the dumbest football I've ever seen.
really.
Coming down to a offsides call.
Yep.
That wasn't called offsides.
It wasn't
Naturally.
offsides.
It
Yeah.
was offsides.
It wasn't offsides.
It was offsides.
Oh wait, it was offsides.
It wasn't
Okay,
offsides.
man.
It wasn't
It was
offsides.
offsides.
No,
It
it
was
was
offsides.
encroachment. Or no, neutral zone infraction.
Neutral zone infraction,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. They're all kind of the same thing.
Because your guy just went in motion after he was set, but he wasn't on the line of scrimmage, so he can go in motion. Like, so what they called offsides because one of your guys flinched, but after the
they
encroachment,
didn't call offsides.
or they called something on. No, they called false
Well,
start.
they called
sorry.
false start.
Sorry, called false start on your guy. He had already set in motion, but they called it because he moved, and then the defensive player moved into the neutral zone, and it caused your lineman to move. So then the refs didn't know what to do. So it was like 3 people.
And it was such a long talk.
Yeah.
They had no idea what to decide. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, this is
It was awful. That was a big explainer game to Rachel, where she kept looking up from her phone, looking at the game, going, "Wait, what? No, what does that mean?"
no, not
So they can't do that. And I'm
not
like,
a
no.
fun game. Not a fun game to watch. Glad we won. move on to the next week.
You take wins however you can get them.
I still think I think it's a big win for us. I think it's a big win that we came back. I don't think Arkansas is necessarily like they're not a bad team whatsoever. Like they looked like a good team, and I think they will win a decent amount of games. And the SEC this year,
We play them.
depending on who their opponents are, but I think they could be an 8-win team. They look
Arkansas?
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Great.
They look pretty good.
They look like their coach is awful, but they like
Sam Pittman.
yeah, they
I
look
like
like a good
him.
team.
Oh, he's
I like him
such
too.
a G.
I like him too.
But
I
he's
think
not
he's my
like
favorite coach
great.
in the SEC.
That's my
And
grandpa's
then you
name.
pair him with Bobby Petrino, who I last saw in a neck brace talking to reporters around his affair or whatever.
Also, we did not spend enough time on that. We don't need to. But the fact that Bobby Petrino humiliated the University of Arkansas many years ago, and then they go back and hire him to be on staff.
and then he cooks with 650 yards of offense on the
Dude,
road. at
That's the
Oklahoma State.
definition right there. Is it just means more? SEC,
It
they
always,
don't care
always
about
has,
morals.
always will. Yeah.
Dude, they cooked us so hard, and we pulled it out. I don't know how
Hey,
that happened.
Battle tested though. That's
I don't know how that. Ollie Gordon might be out of the Heisman conversation after this game. He only 49.
Say out.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't look like he did not look like he was trying. He didn't look powerful at all.
Maybe he had a.
It's a long season.
Them legs did not look powerful. It's frustrating to have like one of the top 5 players in college football and them just have a bad game. You know, like so. Hopefully he bounces back this week. We literally played Tulsa, so
Hey,
that should be
Careful.
an easy
good.
one. But yeah,
Okay.
I think that's it, man.
Let's
It's
Joey,
time.
any additional color you want to add here? What's going through your head, man? We want to hear.
no, dude.
Talk to me.
I like Boise. I like them a lot for the playoff. I think, which is kind of boring. It'd be
Wait,
awesome
the
if
team that just
NIU.
lost.
Yeah, if are you talking about? Oh yeah, Boise. Well, they're still gonna get into. I think they'll get in the playoffs still. That's if their only loss is
Oregon
Oregon
or Boise?
Boise.
I'm just twisting your arm, Gilly.
If
Yeah,
they're-
dude.
If you're saying
Don't mess with me right now, man. I can't even think straight. I'm wild. But as far as that, I mean, that's my big takeaway from the weekend. Besides, App might not be as good as I thought they were, which is always kind of sad. I didn't know who to be mad at on Twitter, but everybody was mad. And you should never go on Twitter when your team loses.
No.
Oh, hell no.
Bad idea.
Because it just
Bad
gets you
idea.
going, and then I'm like, at least I have the Panthers tomorrow. Refreshed
Oh,
Panthers.
Narrator. He did not have the Panthers tomorrow.
I went on a run. I recorded the Panthers game. We're not an NFL podcast, but I'm going to say this. I went on a run, and I was like, I'm going to watch the Panthers game when I get back. I'm sure I'll get
Clear
to see
my
all the
head.
highlight, clear my
Year
head a little
2,
bit.
yeah.
And I run by the Avenue Bar where they have all the TVs out there, and I look, and it's 23-0, and I was like, fuck.
buddy.
I'm no longer watching the Panthers.
Yeah. I came home, and Rachel was like, it's sad. It was bad. But,
Yeah, when you have not an NFL podcast, we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
We are
Sorry.
going to go into bet recap.
we are.
Last
Bet
week.
recap juice. Juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
Oh
on.
yeah.
We need
Yeah.
to
Here.
Do it live.
Come sit.
We'll do it live.
Come sit in my seat.
Bleep that. We'll do it live.
Bleep that and
Welcome to the
and-
couch, brother.
We're gonna have to have
gents.
a.
I don't
Yeah.
have time for that.
Well, I'll give you my $15 cut of the 75 Alex owes me to go back and bleep those out.
All right, our recap for last week.
Clap it up for Juice.
Classic.
Hey,
Big team round of applause.
Let's just throw this in there real quick. All right. That's it. We're good.
All right.
That was applause.
Oh, nice.
Just to recap the records for the team for each individual. We got our boy Jackie went 5-0 last week.
wow.
Wow.
5-0 last week.
You can't.
It was
unless
the
you're-
Iowa State that really got you.
I just seat belted the week. I don't. If
Yeah.
you're not watching on YouTube, you didn't see it, but
and the exact opposite of our boy Jackie over here is Gilly went 1-4.
Yeah.
Let's go.
His big hitter was Texas State covering. That's huge.
Yeah.
that's honestly more impressive than my 5-0.
Yeah. No, the thing is, if those hit, I would have been way ahead.
That's true.
because they were opposite of everybody.
That
So
is
I was swinging
That's
big
how this works.
Yep.
every week.
We're too early in the season for that.
That's right. Way too early. Okay. Binky and I went 4-1, which is a solid week for us
Bing
to bounce
bong.
back from.
High five.
Screw you,
Bet on
Iowa.
those.
And our boy Ricky went 3-2 and got stabbed pretty bad by that NC State pick.
Yeah.
That definitely
was
didn't feel
emotion.
good.
That was
I promise you, it hurt me more than it hurt you, brother.
that was emotion.
Yeah, you're like, they could win, maybe.
Probably would be lit.
Think of the vibes.
In terms of the bets,
Little clothes tree.
the bets we went 4-2 last week, which is huge.
That's incredible.
That's,
Hey,
a, that's
big
a bounce
improvement.
back from 3-3. We're about incremental gains on this show. Small
right.
improvements each day.
So what
That's
you're
right.
telling me is if we bet $1 million on each of those games, we would have made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't
pretty
argue with
good.
the
That's the short
Yeah.
answer is yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
In terms of, here's the thing with what happened for us last week. We got stabbed by the Oklahoma State game.
Yep.
That was 60 and a half.
Yes.
And with about a minute and a half left, it was sitting just nicely at 59. And then the chaos at the end of the game happened. All right. And then that Iowa State game right at the end as well. We had the spread 2.5. And yeah.
I like
lasted
that you wrote free money underneath the Iowa State versus
I
Iowa.
I have ones that are obviously free money.
Right.
So that's what I kind of mix in here. I got a best
Gotta
beat,
call it pretty much.
game of the
Gotta call it what it
week.
is.
Some of those pieces. All right. Our bets for this week. Arizona +7 versus KSU
Okay.
in state.
All right.
Which bet is that?
That's our game. That's my game of the week.
Game of the week?
That's
Yeah.
the game of the week.
Okay.
No, I like that.
Then I have WVU to cover 2 versus Pitt because that Pitt showing didn't really make me feel super confident.
Yeah.
2 is the spread currently. Those odds will change, subject to change. You know
Yeah.
how this works.
Yeah.
LSU to just beat down on South Carolina and cover 7.5.
Yep.
This
That's
is your best beat.
That's my best beat of the week.
Lieutenant
What was
Locks.
That's
what
that's
was
the
What
locksmith
was the
right
West
there.
Virginia? Was that?
2.
Yeah, but like
cover
which
2.
bet was that?
That's just kind of a fun.
That's
bet.
just a
Fun
trust
bet.
juice.
That's just
Trust-
a that's
trust-
trust and
Yeah.
juice.
Put
and
your
juice
money
we
on
trust.
juice.
Like,
Drink the juice.
Money
Put
on
money
juice.
Yes.
on DT
Yeah.
juice, whatever.
Get your juice box.
Okay.
Shout out Capri Sun. Sponsor, just
Mizzou,
saying.
Boston College, my free money bet of the week, under.
We love free money.
54.5.
50. Okay.
And then I have Oregon State, plus 16.5. I think it's closer. We got to we're inside the state. This is
We're in
not a
Corvallis,
really,
brother.
not
it's
really.
that.
It is at Oregon State.
Oh,
Oregon, yeah, I like that.
I like
Oregon
that.
has not given us any reason.
And that's
to-
just a bet. That's just another fun. Put your money.
That's
on
a
juice.
float.
all right. So
That's
now,
floater.
float.
That's floater.
So you saved your free money for last.
No, the free money was the Mizzou BC game. My sim game,
Sim game.
which is
Sim
this
game
is
of the
really the most
week.
important one. This is why I'm on this show. It's
Can
the sim
you
game.
explain? Let's explain the sim game.
Okay.
Like what? You want me to explain?
You
it?
explain.
Yeah, you
it.
explain.
You
Okay, hold
explain
on.
it.
Let me explain. Okay. Just take it out. No, it's good. Here, I'll just say. Okay. So, so the whole point of the sim game is we are betting. Juice is betting kind of not necessarily outrageous bets, but bets that we think will hit in NCAA, the video game.
Which
Yeah,
we're 2
to
and
make
0.
that abundantly
We're 2
clear.
and 0.
We
are 2-0.
We're
video
2 and 0 in those currently.
football too.
It's just a video game.
Yeah, we don't like it.
But then
And it's just a game. Yeah.
not called that.
But then we go into the week and we actually put money on that to see if it hits, which they are outrageous. So the odds are crazy
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Just like this past week, we couldn't even put money on
It wasn't an
Texas
option.
State. It
Yeah,
wasn't an
that
option.
wasn't an
the,
option.
the highest you could go is 3.5.
And if Vegas doesn't touch it, neither do we.
Yeah.
That's,
So
that's the rule.
That's all.
Happens in Vegas. That's right. So my sim bet this week is Duke UConn score off
Let's
go.
over 47 and a
Duke
half.
plays Northwestern to UConn.
This is a hold your nose.
insane.
It is a whole it's kind of
Oh, we didn't even talk about Duke and Northwestern. That's crazy. But yeah, keep going.
so that's my sim game of the week.
the actual over?
It's right currently
Okay.
as of 20 minutes ago.
Amazing.
I just need like a 28-21 score, and I win money.
Bingo. Free money.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Maybe all of these are free money bets.
Honestly,
Daddy had a dongo.
What's up? All right.
Sorry.
And that's Juice's Corner this week.
Let's go, Juice. Thank you. Claps.
go Juice.
Love having Juice here live.
Yeah, God, you're a great addition. Both of you two. So glad to have you guys here.
Corner is a lot longer live, but it's more fun.
It's more
Oh, yeah.
fun.
That is true.
I try and keep it under 2 minutes.
It's electric.
It's been about 8 here.
Yeah. Great. Let's hop into our picks to wrap this
Well,
up.
no, we're gonna throw it to JJ real quick with a quick interview.
What are you
JJ,
doing, Alex?
remember our interview that we
Yes,
did with him?
yes.
It's great. Shout out to JJ Jackson, friend of the program. He works for Locked On Blue Devils, producing content every day for their football and their basketball team. But we talked to him a lot about football. He's also an Auburn grad and does some play-by-play for Auburn. So we're gonna throw it to an interview with JJ. Welcome, JJ.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good
Thanks
to
for
see you
joining, man.
guys. What an honor to be here, man. What an honor.
It's so fun. I was just watching your YouTube videos earlier, and very professional, by the way. But
Thank
I was
you.
like, "Dang, this is crazy!" I'm about to. And then you jumped on with the same background. I was like, "That's
Yeah.
insane!" But
Yeah.
thanks for jumping on. I guess before we go into like questions of interviewing and things like that, would love just if you could give like a brief description of where you work at Locked On Media, and kind of your day to day of all that good stuff.
For sure. Yeah. I'm a podcaster with the Locked On Podcast Network. Been doing it for over 3 years now at this point. And I do their Locked On Blue Devil show, which is incredible. Getting the chance to talk about Duke athletics each and every day for 20 to 25 minutes. Having done radio for so many years of my life and having to fill a 3-hour talk show, cutting it down to just 20 to 25, I'm so okay with. And it's been really fun. It's been fun to talk about the big storylines across the basketball program in particular, because that's what everybody wants to talk about when it comes to Duke. But then I love college football just as much as you guys. And so to have an outlet to talk a little bit about this Duke football team throughout the course of the season is something that I absolutely cherish. So I get the best of both worlds. An Auburn alum who gets to see SEC football every single weekend, and then growing up inside a Duke family as a lifelong Duke fan, still getting a chance to talk about their team every day professionally. Like, I'm living the dream for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, as far as like like Duke and Auburn, I've never had that fandom in one.
Yeah.
So what's that like living double?
It's an interesting
You got,
combo.
like,
It
you got
is.
the best job to be able to do both of those at the same time.
No, for sure. And fortunately for both of these schools, right? I mean, the sports that they're best at, that they're best known for, there's never been much overlap, right? I mean, Duke football is on the up and up, but they haven't won a national championship. You know, I've seen Auburn both win and play for one, and compete for SEC titles. With Auburn, they've been to one Final Four ever a couple years ago in 2019, but before that, they've got Charles Barkley to their name, right? And that's about it when it comes to basketball. So to be a Duke basketball fan like I have my entire life, it's been a whole lot of fun because I haven't had to worry about the two schools playing one another too much. I saw it once in Maui, and then we're going to see it again this December when they play each other in the SEC and ACC Challenge. So, that'll be really fun. That same night that Auburn travels to Duke, Alabama is traveling to UNC. So college football's finest rivalry, and Auburn and Alabama are both going to be back in the home state in North Carolina playing basketball's finest rivalry in Duke and UNC. So that's going to be a fun night in
That's a
December.
cool nugget. Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane. How'd you get into media? How'd you get into broadcasting and everything? Because I remember, backstory for everybody listening, I met JJ in college.
Yep.
And I don't really know how. It's just our friend Jake, Coach Jake for the listeners who listened last season, but introduced us, and he gave me my Instagram name because I lost a game of putt-putt, and which is a whole other story. But
I just love that I got to be there for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and ever since then, honestly, back then you were like, I want to work in broadcasting, which is crazy because at that time I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you're still doing what you actually want to do back then. You're like freshman year of college.
Yeah, and I'm finding that to be more and more rare, Alex. It's funny enough. I mean, a 2017 college graduate, here we are 7 years later, and I'm one of the few in my class that still says, yep, chasing that media life, still wanting to do this each and every day. I think there are a lot of various reasons life happens for a lot of people, and you make a step into doing something else. I haven't made that switch for whatever reason, but man, for as long as I can remember, like, this is one of those things that I wanted to do. Sports have, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll let you decide, but in so many ways, they have truly determined my happiness and mood and emotion in so many ways. And guys, like, it brings family and friends together, right? Like, it's awesome that I've got my teams, you've got your teams. It's incredible if we have both the same teams, right, that we can cheer for together and that sort of thing. And so every time I was a part of a team growing up, it was the coolest thing in the whole wide world, because I am so competitive and my team better win at the end of the day. But I knew I had zero skills to be the level of athlete that it would take to get there. And so I'm like, you know what? I love watching all these shows Sports Center. I'm watching the same one over and over and over again every single day, knowing that that's so cool that they get to just talk about sports each day. And all the shows that are out there, like, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And so I made the decision to go to Auburn. The first day I stepped on campus, I joined their student media department, and, I never looked back. Here we are all these years later.
I love it, man. I'm not doing what I studied in college, which was recreation. And so completely different. But that's sick, man. I love to see people chase their dreams. Broadcasting is cool. There's a book called Those Guys Have All the Fun. I think you should read if you haven't already.
At ESPN.
Yeah. It's really cool. As far as like, I guess if you had to choose podcasting or calling play-by-play, which is your favorite?
It's tough, right?
And what's the difference kind of between?
I would, if I had to choose for the rest of my life, I would say play-by-play. There is nothing like it, guys. I mean, in the moment, as it's happening, you're watching it with everyone else, and you just get to react to it and be live and call all the action. And then in the position that I've been with like really cool former players and coaches that are getting to teach me things about the game that I never would have known just in being who I am, right? And so getting to see the game from their eyes and their level, like, you just don't get that every day when you're doing a podcast and that sort of thing. What is nice about the podcasting space is that I get to control, and if anybody out there wanted to start their podcast like you guys have done here, which is awesome, you get to control when you want to release it, right? It's a little harder for me to say, hey, let me get 10 guys together, know every single thing about them, and why don't you guys play a game and I'll broadcast the game, right?
Yeah.
And in that setting, no TV character or radio station is going to pick up that game to be broadcasted anywhere. So I'd really be calling the game to myself and for myself. So the challenges of play-by-play, the opportunities aren't as there as frequently, which is why I think I love it so much more.
Yeah. No,
you really got to earn it. You really got to get those shots, and you got to take advantage of it and really earn it.
Yeah. I'm pretty bad at speaking in general. So I think that would be,
I agree.
I would love definitely bucket list item, just so I could listen back to how many words I didn't get out, and how many words I made up. So that sounds like my help a little bit.
Give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. I mean, so many people start, and like, I certainly was like, we all grew up playing the video games, right? FIFA and 2K and Madden, and they've got commentators already on there, but I was someone who already knew every single player on the field and on the teams. So I just decided I'll start practicing and calling these games myself.
Did you go straight into Auburn, like calling, or did you grind it out with some other like?
I got pretty fortunate. Fortunate that my freshman year, they were very awesome to let me step in and step up right away. But then at that time, Auburn had soccer, volleyball, and softball all competing at the SEC D1 level that they needed radio broadcasts for, and there was a pretty large audience of people that wanted to listen to them, and so. Next thing you know, I'm calling these games. And, I talk a lot about volleyball on my broadcasting journey. Never played, never really watched volleyball, don't know a whole lot about it. But I was like, all right, this is my moment. This is my shot. now I'm going to know every single thing there is to know about college volleyball. And from that, I've been able to kind of expand and get into kind of those more high profile sports. And
I
that
love
sort of
it.
thing. Yeah.
I love it. What's your, I guess, hardest sport, favorite sport? You just named a couple, grinding out. What's the toughest thing about it? Toughest sport to call?
Like in the moment, toughest sport to call. That's great. I think there are various challenges. And a lot, like I love a baseball game, right? I
Yeah.
love a baseball game so much. But
Yeah.
when you're on radio, I mean, you're calling every single pitch, and
Yeah. That is a lot.
that's a lot. And a lot of times not a whole lot's happening,
Yeah.
2-1 misses
True.
outside, it's a 3-1 count, and then
There's
you have-
Castellanos.
exactly deep into left field, right? But you could have 6 or 7 straight foul balls, and it's like I really feel like I'm on repeat right now, but there
Yeah.
truly is not much more for me to do in this moment.
Yeah.
So from that level, that's challenging, but at least from the pace, it's a little bit easier to keep up with, right? I mean, volleyball is back and forth the entire time. That ball is playing both sides of the net. So that is incredibly challenging in itself. So
Have you called hockey before?
I have not,
got
but
it?
that would be number one for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how those guys do it.
Yeah.
That pucky's so small on the ice. It's
Like every
switching
name has
hands
like 4
so
consonants.
frequently.
In it as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. And the names alone and the pronunciations, that would trip you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is a little bit of a pivot, but I'm curious just from sports broadcasting, history. What would you say? I mean, I think I know your answer. We chatted about it a little bit before we recorded here, but I know you'd gotten into broadcasting a little bit before the kick 6 call. Prior to that, was there a call in specific that kind of you idolized or would try to practice or repeat, or is there just a call? What's the first sports broadcasting call that comes to mind when you think of legendary calls?
So I think a lot about that kick 6 call actually was my senior year of high school. So I knew at that time I was going to Auburn, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And I knew that, or I did not know that I would one day get the opportunity to call games with Rod Bramblett, who delivered what is the finest college broadcasting play-by-play call that's ever been. I mean, that was just unbelievable. The magnitude of what that game meant, and in the moment to hit and deliver. And so many guys in those big games do too much talking in the moment, right? That's what we're taught a lot during the game. And sometimes just let it breathe, man. Let people actually hear how crazy the environment is. And he absolutely did that. But back to your question, like I think a lot about Braves games growing up in my lifetime, right? I think a lot about Chip Cary's first call in 2010 when Jason Hayward debuts as one of the most promising young players baseball has seen in quite some time, and homers in his first at bat. April 5th, 2010, swinging a drive into right field. Jason Hayward homers and the Braves are on the board. What a start for the kid. Off of Carlos Zambrano. And then a couple hours later that night, again, April 5th, 2010, Duke wins the national championship against Butler. And what is an iconic
Gordon Hayward
that very same day. And Jim Nantz says, Gordon Hayward misses at the buzzer. Duke is the king of the dance 2010. It almost went in. It almost went in.
Yeah. That's true. I forgot about that. So basically anything Tony Romo is not doing is the way that you want to do it, essentially.
He's just so hard for him being an analyst, right? Like I can't.
Yeah. I just remember this past Super Bowl when he was calling it, and I think everything you're saying, like let the moment breathe. I think he did the opposite of that.
He loves
the final touchdown.
For sure. For sure.
No, but I like Tony Romo, but at the same time, it's awful. Going into kind of like a shift from that. Would love to hear a little bit of your takes for this season, since we are a college football focused group of guys. What do you think of the landscape right now? What do you think about the 12-team playoff? Who's your dark horse? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
It's so fun, man. I mean, 12 teams, tripling the size of what it's been before, especially after a season in last year where you've got Florida State who goes undefeated and doesn't get the chance to make it and to play for a national title, right?
And they're choking as we're watching them choke.
Correct. I mean, it's been a horrific start to their season so far this year. But like I tell you what, I don't want those scenarios anymore, right? So in that regard, I'm really glad that we're getting the chance to expand the game and expand the playoff format to bring more of these teams in. At the moment, like I'm defending the SEC and getting kind of Alabama in there over Florida State because it is the SEC. And, we see what the ACC looks like year after year and who Florida State's going up against. But it's so hard to argue against an undefeated Power 5 conference champion getting in. Like, we're still talking about this, guys, And so now, moving forward, we don't have to worry about that. We know what these conferences are. Their champion is going to get into the league. And then, yes, it's still going to be big decisions being made between 12 versus 13, but it's not, there's not these big conference championships kind of looming over the discussion that makes it harder to get to a final decision.
Yeah. Who's your group of 5 pick that'll get in?
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have a hard time really locking in on G5 teams until we get later into the year because I'll be honest, I love the big guys,
No, that's fair.
I love App State because of you guys and my friends that went there, right? But I don't know, man. Like it's going to be interesting to see, and then also who's G5 versus not. Like I got to reorganize my brain into
that's true.
Who exactly is in the Big 12 versus now they've gone to the American or Sun Belt, wherever it may be.
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
I think Boise State has been impressive so far.
The running back. Do you see the running back this weekend?
Jeffrey or whatever. Insane. Apologies for missing his name, but he was remarkable. So I do think Boise State's going to make some noise and make a little bit of a run.
And there's some other smaller programs.
Tell me, give me a name.
I think Memphis is somebody to keep an eye on. Obviously, App. We'll see more this weekend when they play Clemson.
Right,
but
it's going to be a fun one.
I think Memphis Liberty has the easiest schedule. They're kind of the small Notre Dame version this year, where if they just go undefeated and beat everybody, they'll probably
You're good to go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the main. Smaller schools like Tennessee, University of Tennessee, Knoxville could probably get in if they just win at least, I'd say, 9 games, 10 games.
Right.
They'd get in. But we'll see what happens there. Vanderbilt is on the prowl in the SEC, so that's the big one that we want to look out for, right?
No
Binky?
doubt.
You'll learn, JJ, that Alex just has some really good takes and knows his football real well. He's a ball knower.
Listen, I do endorse this show, so I'm known to listen week by week, right? And I know kind of the fun Tennessee run-ins that we have that you guys have in conversation.
JJ, Auburn or Duke, next 10 years, what are you more excited about as far as their football programs?
It got to be Auburn. I mean, Well, I mean,
if Mike Elko would have stayed, would you change your answer to Duke?
I don't think so. Although that would have been more. I mean, what he did in 2 years was really special. And I'm not. I mean, Manny Diaz is a really qualified coach. Like, if you told
great win.
If you told me when David Cutcliffe was leaving that Manny Diaz was going to be the guy, that would have been awesome. Because at the time, who's Mike Elko? He's just Texas A&M's defensive coordinator. He hasn't had the moment to kind of prove himself as a head coach. But no, I mean, in the SEC, a program like Auburn, who has competed for national championships, who is recruiting at one of the best levels that they have in the last 10, 15 years, and only the second season under Hugh Freeze. I've got to be just so excited about that. And then just football, like collective things alone, that we're having to talk about with NIL and just getting players in the transfer portal. Like Auburn is always going to be the bigger destination for these football guys to go over and transfer to. So this freshman wide receiver class that Auburn has is unbelievable. Hugh Freeze recruits wide receivers really well. When you're thinking about his time at Ole Miss and DK Metcalf and Laquan Treadwell, AJ Brown, all these guys.
Cody Core.
Cody Core, what a callback there, Binky. I mean, so the likes of Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Bryce Kane, Malcolm Simmons, like these are names that you already saw against Alabama A&M in week 1 Yes, it's Alabama A&M, but you're going to see them as the season plays out, and then more and more guys are going to want to come and play at Auburn. So, yeah, I'm super optimistic about those next 10 years.
Love it.
You guys aren't going to disagree with me, are you?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for Duke football, but I just live near Durham, so I can go watch them play. So I'm a little biased. We're coming up. I think we have a minute left due to Zoom. Maybe more than that. Should count me down. But how can they listen to you every day? I was looking today. So what's a good way to follow, like subscribe? What's the best listeners you can get?
Subscribe, please. Locked On Blue Devils on YouTube to support and watch the show each and every day. You get to see the set that I'm at and talk about everything going on in Duke athletics. I will say, once it gets into basketball season, we care a whole lot more about Duke basketball than we do Duke football. So there will be a bit of a shift there, but plenty of football stuff right now. And then, like these guys, I see this every day. It helps me put food on the table. The 5-star ratings and reviews, and written reviews in particular, really do the work for the algorithms. So if you would be so kind to leave one of those, and make sure that you support the show as well with those 5-star rating and reviews, that helps out a whole lot of people. But yeah, check us out.
Find you on both
Blue Devils.
Spotify, Apple Music,
everywhere you get your podcast. Yep,
beautiful.
Love it. Yep. Any last question from you, Binky?
Oh man,
he wasn't ready for this.
No, I wasn't. Honestly, I could never do.
It's our whole podcast. It's like, Binky, you paying attention? He's like, yeah. And he's just on
meanwhile, yeah, for sure. My final question would be: you're given a chance to hire, let's say, 3 years ago, pre-Hugh Freeze. You take current caliber Josh Heupel or Hugh Freeze post Liberty. Who are you taking?
Wow. Heupel's been on a roll, man. Heupel's been on a roll. I think I might go Heupel. I might go Josh Heupel.
All right. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
The tiny program, the tiny Tennessee program. There you go.
Making things happen.
That's right. Yeah. Dude, you'll beat Chattanooga this weekend. Anything's possible. So the season's going to be great. Well, JJ, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you joining. Next week, as a teaser, we're going to try and get Coach Shake back on here to talk about how much he hates high school recruiting. So
I'll be tuned in. I can't wait for that one.
Sweet. Thanks, JJ. Shout out to nicest guy.
I really like him.
Yeah, he's great. He's dope. He's so great.
Such a good dude.
We got to get him here. Got to get him in the studio. He would love it.
Got to get him live in the flesh.
He would love it. He'd be like, guys, this is awesome. This is just so fun. It's amazing. But
I do think he would say that, yeah.
Let's get to picks. Picks for the week. Week 3. We got Tennessee versus NC State. That's last week. Let's keep on going down. We got UCF at TCU for our first game. Jackie.
Oh, is this where I'm supposed to talk?
Yeah.
Give me the... They're not the Scarlet Knights. They're the Citronauts, right? Is that their
Golden
like...
Knights.
Golden Knights, yeah.
But they have their like space...
Yeah, their NASA is like down the street or something.
Yeah, like their Space Force base is based in there. Anyways, give me Central Florida. I like KJ Jefferson. They've been kind of nasty on offense, and I have faded TCU ever since they lost by 1 million points to Georgia. So, give me the central portion of the state of Florida.
Very fair. I am also going to take UCF. I think it's one of the biggest universities in the nation, which also threw me off.
Largest public university in the state of Florida.
Yeah. It's in Orlando.
Bigger than the University of Florida, Florida State, Miami.
Bro. It's true. Shout out to Kaylee Sullivan. Her aunt worked at UCF and knew Blake Bortles. So very fun connection there.
Again, Kaylee Sullivan's aunt is not a sponsor, just a friend.
She's not, just shout out. Just shout out.
Just shout out here.
So give me UCF over TCU.
Great.
Bink?
I'm a tail that as well. Give me UCF. I think they're wildly more talented. I think KJ Jefferson is still a beast. And I don't see any other way about it. Even though it's at TCU, but how much of a competitive advantage is that really?
Yeah, I mean, Colorado beat at TCU last year as well, so that shows.
Ricky.
Rick?
I'm just going to go with the group.
All right, he's got UCF as
All right,
well.
Yeah.
Just
We got a
yelling,
UCF
yelling
week
from the back.
We got a UCF week this
All
week.
right, all aboard
we're all
the
in.
UCF train. So next game we got is Texas A&M at Florida in the swamp.
This would be sick.
Yeah,
Hold on. We did miss one person. Juice. Who you got this
Oh,
weekend?
sorry.
Yeah, UCF week.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're riding.
UCF week.
We're riding.
Here we go.
Yeah, he yelled. Next game, Texas A&M at Florida. Jack, who you got?
The Fighting Mike Elkos. I think Florida, they beat Sanford pretty bad, but I think they might be done.
Yeah,
Like, I think they might be cooked already.
yeah.
They quit against Miami.
What was the score at Sanford? They blow him out?
Like 50 to something.
Okay. We got some
DJ
some momentum.
Lagwape looked pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm gonna actually take Florida here. I don't know about Texas A&M this year. I think they're gonna be a 6-win team, but I think they're still figuring it out. And I think Florida. I think Billy is on his he's gonna have
Last leg.
So
Yeah, he's definitely on his back foot.
I don't want to
Yeah.
bet against him this week. So give me Florida. The swamp is still hard to play at.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I would love to know what time kickoff is, because if it's a night game, it truly sways this for me.
Got you.
we got our number cruncher in the
You're
back.
so prepared.
Here,
That's
over-
what I'm saying, man. This would be
Pat's just discovered that he has a computer in the back.
Apologize, IG listeners. Give us 1 second. Pat, is this a night game?
I searched Florida A&M and it brought up actual Florida A&M.
Yeah,
Lord
who's
have mercy.
FAMU playing this week?
Patience, everybody.
It is a midday game, 3:30.
Give me the Gators, actually.
Yeah, it's hot. It's gonna be hot then.
Yeah, give me the Gators. I really do think their back's against the wall. I mean, their back's going to be against the wall every game, let's be honest. I think DJ Lagway showed a lot of potential. I do know that Florida's going to be playing both Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway in this game. So give me the Gators. I think, granted, this game's 3:30. Rip SEC on CBS, but traditionally that is a primetime game. Going to be heading into the night there in Gainesville. Give me the Gators, but a close game. That -4.5 is kind of perfect.
Love it.
All right. For Trish.
Yeah, give me Florida.
All right.
Love it.
All right,
Nice.
Juice.
straightforward. I really can't get over how Florida played against Miami. Still, I don't think I'm past that fully.
Yeah,
That's fair.
So I think I got to ride with A&M on this one.
that's fair.
I do think it will be close. I do think I'm not quite sure Texas A&M will cover.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Mikey is good. LSU at South Carolina next game. Jack,
Game
you
day.
got
College game
College
day.
game day is going
in
to South
Columbia,
Carolina.
I think for the first time.
Columbia.
First time ever?
I believe so.
Columbia is like the swamp, but instead of a stadium, it just feels like a swamp. Everybody
I was
else
about
in
to
the
say, Columbia
city.
the hottest place in the United States. Like, it's up there with Death Valley. Like,
Yeah,
in
it
the
just
Southwest, probably, I
it
think.
feels like it. Houston also. Yeah.
I'll tell you this much. I think Brian Kelly's going to be so angry. Playing South Carolina.
Yeah.
I think, like, we were talking about talent advantages earlier, and I'm not ready to buy what Beamer Boy is selling. So
Yeah, I ain't buying that Beamer.
give me the angry northerner who's pretending to cosplay as a Bayou brother.
Yeah.
I'll take LSU.
Love it. I'm going to take Louisiana State University as well. I think that Jaden Daniels is a really good quarterback in the NFL, and he went there, and so that's
He's
my
on my
pick.
fantasy team. He did great this weekend.
He
Yeah.
did. He's on my bench.
Yeah, he's really good.
Let's talk about
Shout
that.
out Commanders.
Pat bleeped that out. I'm gonna take the Tigers here as well. It shows you just kind of how not competitive on paper of a weekend we have in college football this weekend. The fact that game day is going to Columbia for this, I will give it to South Carolina. They absolutely killed Kentucky. The score should have been higher than what it was. But I'm like Gilly said, I'm not buying the Beamer ball. Like Jackson
said
said. Jackson said credit. I'll give credit where credit's due.
Thanks, man.
I think this whole South Carolina thing's being blown way out of proportion. I think Kentucky really just stinks.
Yeah.
And I think Garrett Nussmeier is an unreal coach. While I do think South Carolina has a very good defense, I think talent-wise, LSU is just going to overwhelm them and pull it out late. So give me the Tigers.
Go Tigers.
All right, Pat?
This one's actually conflicting for me because again, I don't want everyone in this room to go with the same team, just like we did with UCF. Yep. So I'm going to rely on South Carolina winning this football game. I think
they won last week.
I think the hype of game day being here or in Columbia for the first time ever, I guess, is going to be pretty lit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
love it.
South Carolina.
Juice, who you got?
I picked LSU to cover, so I got to just ride with that.
No, I love it.
That's just
man of your word.
You don't hedge your own bets.
That's right.
If you can help it.
That's right.
That's true.
Fun fact, Pat this weekend, he said, I hedge my bets on this. And I said, what's that mean? He said, I hedge them. So he did that thing where he didn't explain it. He just said it twice.
He just doubled down.
Yeah.
Doubled down.
I do not know what that meant.
Just moving on. What's our secret game of the week?
Secret game.
Oh,
wow.
Stinky. Sneaker McGeeker over here.
This guy stinks.
Somebody tell him what it is.
Oh, yeah. We got Memphis at Florida State University. All right,
So,
Jack. Who you got?
Oh, this is
Off the cuff.
So Florida State lost their most dynamic offensive weapon this week, or last week, but it was announced today. Jalen Lucas is out for the year. I don't like this.
This is a thinker.
I'm going to go with Florida State because how bad can it get?
Yeah.
And then clip that when they lose at home.
For real.
I'm going to go with Florida State. And that way I am hedging my bet because if they lose, it's the funniest shit ever.
I love that.
Oh, man. I'm going Memphis. I've not watched them play, but I picked them to be in the playoffs. I've not watched them play, but I've watched Florida State play, and there's no way that they're going to lose. Memphis in my head cannot be as bad as that. So, Binky, who you got?
In my head, there's no way.
I have actually watched a little bit of Memphis this year. Not the live college football games, but on the video game that I'm playing because Memphis is my dynasty team.
They're nasty.
And we're heading to the playoffs this weekend against Rutgers. So give me the mother effing Tigers. Mario Anderson, running back, is a dog. Seth Hannigan, quarterback, dog. Wide receiver, Rock Taylor, dog. Give me the Tigers. I know I'm going to regret this one, but I got to ride with my dynasty team here. And got a lot of family roots in Memphis, so give me the blue and white stripes here.
That was a good sales pitch.
Yeah.
I almost bought.
Yeah, right there.
Well, I got laid off in my one job in sales, so you probably don't want to buy what I'm selling.
Yes.
How bad could it get, How bad could it really get? Let's go with Florida State.
Okay.
I hate that. I hate that.
Okay, let's not do a bunch of chants. Ricky, gosh.
This game is really important for Memphis for the fact that if they win this game, they pretty much have the Group of 5 bid locked down.
Yeah.
Because the rest of their schedule is pretty bad. So
What about NIU?
What?
What about NIU?
Do they play NIU?
No, but NIU beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, but NIU could lose to any other team.
That's true.
Memphis is, I think they're a good football program this year. Give me Memphis. Give me Memphis.
Let's go.
Give me Memphis to also I'm gonna flip it. FSU is -7 in this game. Give me Memphis -7 in this game.
All right. All right.
The boys
I didn't even
are walking
consider
in Memphis this weekend.
Dolph effect.
Yeah.
Just like
Young Dolph. John Morant was also at the Memphis game this weekend. Shout out to him. Do not do what he does.
That's right,
He
kids.
is not a good influence.
That's right.
But he is a good basketball player.
Yeah. He
Yes.
plays basketball
He is a
very
good
well.
basketball
he's
player.
going to be very wealthy.
All right, let's
Yeah.
wrap this.
He's got a really
one
good
up.
shot.
Our game of the week: Arizona versus Kansas State.
Arizona. I'm just gonna any state that I can do that with. Yeah. I watched Kiss U kick State's ass last year in a bowl game, and I actually like Avery Johnson, their quarterback. He's a pretty good dual threat who's taken some steps. We didn't really talk about the Tulane Kansas State game, but that was an interesting one this last week where they came back and played pretty well. So I will take Kiss U at home.
Love it. I'm going to do Arizona just because of Vegeta. I like them. They look good. And I think they'll win this game.
Okay. Give me, I still haven't decided here. I'm thinking.
Give me one of two teams.
Sorry, you want me to talk longer?
I like Kansas State actually here. Give me Kansas State. Give me Kiss U.
Love it.
Avery Johnson. I am still a big believer. I've got them. I have to ride with my word here. I think they are probably could win the Big 12 this year. So give me Kansas State. I do know that Arizona has a great duo in T-Mac and Noah Fafita. I just think Kansas State's defense is a little bit better. Granted, this game is also in Manhattan. I got to ride with the Purple Wildcats. Shout out my cousin, Ben, and Caroline Smith.
Shout out, Ben.
Bring home a dub.
Yeah, shout out, Ben. We're still getting you that poster.
Yep, that
That's
poster
right.
is
it's
coming.
in the mail.
I promise.
Rick?
Pat?
I'm taking Kansas State here solely for the fact that I need them to win so that our win against them in 2 weeks looks really good.
Yeah.
Transitive property, the man says. We like it. Juice, who you got?
I am going to ride with Kiss U as well. I don't know much about either of these teams.
That's fair. Honesty
or
is the
else
best policy.
I would have probably bet on them. So
Yeah.
Hard to argue with that.
Way to juice up our game of the
But I
week
don't.
here, Juice.
That's what I got.
Kansas State is a crazy place to play.
Yeah, Manhattan, Kansas.
Manhattan is an insane stadium.
I went to a mall there.
I'm in Manhattan, just in New York. All right, those are our picks for the week. We got a heavy UCF lean from the boys, sweeping it. We got a split. No splits this week. Wow. We got a heavy Memphis lean, heavy LSU, heavy kisses. Heavy Kiss U, excuse me, should I say.
Heavy kisses.
Wow, no one else picked
I
Arizona.
think there's going to be a handful of us in this room kind of looking like clowns here. 7 days from
I
now.
absolutely think so.
But we're going to see who it is. Tune in next week. We love you guys.
Thanks
Like
for
and
listening
subscribe.
and watching.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Listen to our X. I'm getting really good at tweeting during games.
Yep, so listen to X because that is what you do.
Check
you
'em
don't
out.
read it. You listen to X.
Thanks to JJ for joining us today.
thanks, JJ.
Yeah,
in his
JJ, we
interview.
love you.
Shout out JJ.
JJ Locked On Blue Devils. Like and
Also, we've got a
subscribe.
great interview dialed up for either next week or the week after. Some say this is my kinfolk, a diehard Tennessee fan.
Oh, wow.
Been in the sports broadcasting industry for about 40 years.
Wow.
Covered the biggest games in college football
We'll have to tighten up
in
a little
his
bit.
life. So stay tuned for that. We love you. Thank you. God bless America.
Stay grounded.
And God bless the Tennessee Volunteers.
All right.
Go Vols.
Yeah.
All right, turn it off.
Yeah.